Made them turn their backs on who they really were. They all left! All of them! Well, I wish them all the best in their new endeavors.
Oh, man. Sorry, Bugs. That's terrible. Family's everything.
Yep.
So, what is a Space Jam exactly? Well, if empirical evidence is to be considered, it's an imitation Looney Tunes movie franchise wherein these Warner Brothers characters behave like Disney characters, spouting off about being family. Ugh. And while a good argument could be made that family is not at the core of the Looney Tunes characters, there is, in fact, a Looney Tunes family. And just like in the old days with Chuck Jones, Tex Avery, and the rest, this family is a hodgepodge of artists who frequently work on Looney Tunes projects. People like Pez, Spike Brandt, Dan Haskett, Greg Ford, and Eric Bauza, just to name a few. So, if Space Jam is all about family, and it's supposed to be a Looney Tunes franchise, then this new legacy openly neglected to give more than due credit to one of the most prominent and popular members of this family, that of Looney Tunes comics artist and Looney Tunes cartoons character designer, Dave Alvarez. What's up, docs and docettes? Trevor Thompson, the self-appointed Looney Tunes critic here, and this is an important video to do. Thank you for clicking on it. It's as you know from the intro, it's all about Dave and a lot of artists that got screwed over by Space Jam: A New Legacy. And I should apologize first of all for this video not coming out a little earlier. This is a story from last week. I've been inundated for any number of reasons. Regular viewers of the channel, especially my daily show, Riding the Shield, know that things are getting a bit hectic right now. We're doing some restructuring, I guess, so to speak. So I wasn't able to put a video together with the quickness, but then again, I've never really had that ability, if we're being completely honest. But the point being, I would have liked to have had this video come out a little earlier. I apologize, but Dave has been very a good friend to me, especially in the case of this video, because he had a lot of people asking about. There's a video out there that went viral talking specifically about Dave and how he got snubbed on these credits, he could have easily. And other legit media outlets reached out to him, and he gave me the exclusive. And we'll talk about that, but I just, it's really nice. So I guess what I'm saying is that maybe it's more important to get things done correctly than to get things done quickly. Then again, YouTube is not exactly quantity over quality. Or maybe it is, actually. That's exactly what it is. Maybe I should redo that, but I'm not going to, because Dave is patiently waiting on the line and is ready to talk to us, talk to the world about this whole thing. Now, keep in mind, as we'll get into obviously later, Dave is not the only person that this has happened to, but Dave is something of a special case, and also it's a hell of a lot easier for me because he's my friend. So, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
Greetings from Puerto. Yeah, that's right. Dave is in Puerto Rico, and so let's just jump right into it, man. Let's start with a broad kind of critique of the film. You're a Looney Tunes man. You're a Looney Tunes fan, but you're also a dad, and you watch this with your kids. So, is it a good movie for kids? Tell me what you think. What are your thoughts on the movie as a dad?
As a father, I think it was a great movie for them because they were having a good time, and the critic on me was looking at the Looney Tunes, and I was like, okay, maybe they shouldn't behave like that. Bugs Bunny starts acting like Mickey Mouse, but that's me. But them, they don't know the Looney Tunes, and they're like, man, they're so cool, man, they're doing fun. And they kind of enjoy it. They were laughing at certain parts. So, as a kids movie, I think it worked.
Yeah, that's actually a criticism that I've heard from a couple of people in our little loony circle, concentric circle. It's the first 20 minutes are just, they're too long. Then it's too much. It's first 30 minutes.
20 minutes, I count like 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was 40 minutes.
But yeah, man, it's like it's too convoluted. I mean, it could be that length, but it's, you know, it's not necessarily the length is the problem. It's so much that they're cramming all of this extra information in that they really don't need to.
The movie takes too much time telling the backstory of LeBron, which I don't think it was like that, you know, make that kind of an important thing in the movie. But for me, that was like a little bit too long. So I don't know. That's my opinion. Should have been shorter.
I talked to Spike Brandt off the record about this, and something I didn't really. I mean, I figured quarantine, you know, people would be working from home on some level, but 100%, Spike tells me, 100% of the animation was done from home. So why don't we just start with that? Why don't you tell us about how you got involved with this from home project?
Well, you mean the movie? How do you call?
Right. Yeah, I do mean the movie.
Yeah, the movie. Well, I was calling to the movie summer 2019. They were in the need. By the way, I need to specify that because I've been seeing people's posts saying, "Oh, character designer was neglected from his credits." I wasn't a character designer, although I did some character design. But my title there was visual developer. Visual developer, just as the name implies, we start doodling stuff. So for ideas that have not come out yet, you know, like characters that they want to see, attires that they want to wear. So they called me in summer 2019 to do that because they were in need of a lot of designs and a lot of help. And, you know, they were okay with working remotely because, you know, everything was that way. So, yeah, that was basically it. I was called just to do that, just to help them do a lot of designs so the animators could go through them.
Has this ever happened to you before, not getting credit on a major project like this?
This is the first time that it doesn't happen. I've been credited for everything that I've done during the years that I've been working. So yeah, but they chose certain people that were like clue for in aspect of design. You know, as you know, Spike Brandt was the main designer for the movie. So they kind of were looking for people that could adapt to that design easily. You know, and at the same time be able to work into the rush that the movie was already into. So I think that helped.
Now, as I said, I talked to Spike, and he told me about. I can't really say, but he told me about Ruben. What happened? Basically, it doesn't seem. It's not one thing. It's not one reason why all these different artists got credited. It's kind of weird, but everybody that didn't get credited, there's like a different story.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. And
it does?
Yeah, surprisingly it does. But yeah.
Explain then, please.
Okay. You know, it's everybody. The credit thing has been questionable for some people, and you have to put it from this perspective, you know, this point of view, where we are artists and we need that credit in order to find our next gig and negotiate better fees for our next contract and stuff like that. I have seen in the credits even some people didn't appear and others were miscredited in other areas, and even they even misspelled their second names and stuff like that. I just found out that I wasn't aware of it. So Ruben was a great guy. He's a great guy, a great animator, and I think as Spike said, he's one of the first guys who said yes into the project, and a lot of his work is in the movie, and sad that he wasn't credited either.
Yeah, well, with Ruben, I mean, again, and it's weird to say this, but like I feel kind of ashamed because I'm the Looney Tunes critic. I should know everybody, but I mean, I literally, this whole thing coming out, this happening, I found out about because of Ruben. But you know, he's Spike's guy. I mean, he you know, he did the first shot of the movie, the very first animated shot of the movie was Ruben. But yeah.
Where I was actually going with this, if there tell the story about you watching it with your kid and then realizing that you weren't credited.
Well, as you say, and I think that now half of the globe knows. Thank you very much for that, by the way. I really appreciate it. So, it was movie night here at home, and we were all expecting that movie because you know it's what's dad's movie for my kids. You know, they saw me working on that summer. They saw a lot of designs that I've been working on. One of the first designs that they spotted was Daffy's attire for as a coach. So my oldest kid was like, "Hey, I saw your design on the preview," and I was, "Oh, that's great, man."
Well, that happened.
So, mind you, that I was contacted in production, and they asked me for my screen name. So what name would I want to be credited as? So obviously I said Dave Alvarez. I don't remember any other name. That's the one that I gave. So I sat down with my kids, popcorn and everything. We watched the movie. We had one great time. They enjoyed it a lot. Credits time come. We're gonna watch the credits, so we're gonna see where's Dad. They were with their cell phones like this, you know, trying to catch up that moment. And credits roll, and it just didn't appear. And we were like, you know, maybe they misplaced me, or maybe they put me on another under another position, you know, or maybe I appear as an animator or something like that, because it happens most of the time. So we tried a second time looking into the credits, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So my frustration was so big, because I was like, this is my first movie credit. I was expecting it to be there, and not only that, I was trying to set an example for my kids, because they are following my footsteps. One of them is making video games, and the other one is making animation. So they want to follow this. So as a father, it's disheartening not to find this, because that was my proof that they can do big and better things. So nothing happened. I was literally speechless. So I just, you know, stood quiet for a while, and it was late. I think it was like 12 p.m. I said, well, 12 a.m., sorry. And I said, well, let's go to bed and stuff, you know, to wash your teeth. So they went off, and it was a very, very sour moment. My wife sat down later on in the TV set on HBO Max, and she was like trying to find them again. And I said, you know, baby, it's not there. It's not there. So, you know, I called it a day, and I said, you know, and the first thought that came to my mind was like, what everybody's saying, you know, this is common in the industry. They forget people. Oh, I was there. I was paid for, so why should I complain? So, you know, the other day, I woke up with this, you know, this horrible feeling that, you know, that it wasn't there. That I felt, you know, like I was tricked into this, and, you know, my designs were there. So I wrote this little frustration note on Facebook. Literally, this is what happened. I just wrote my thing. I put it on the phone, put the phone aside, go and fix breakfast. And when I come back, my post is, around the world. And I was like, hey, what happened? So, but then I realized that my feeling was real. This was, you know, artist needs to be credited. This is real. This is a real thing. They need to be credited because this is their step for bigger and better things. So I started reading at people comments and people saying, "Oh, this is common. This is common." Well, it shouldn't be common. It shouldn't. This is unfair, and this shouldn't happen because this big giant company is getting the benefit from your designs and you're not being credited about it. Yes, I got paid. I know that. So, but that's not the thing. If you don't have credit, what is gonna happen next? Maybe I try to get into another movie and I say, hey, I work in Space Jam. Oh, I don't see your credit there, so it's not gonna happen. Also, my urge of setting a sample to my kids, I needed the urge to fight this because this is not for me. This is for them. They're gonna get inside this business eventually, and this is the first thing that they see. That is gonna be my biggest participation in the animation industry, and it was a flop, because my name wasn't there. So I don't want them to be discouraged. So uh, in a nutshell, that's what happened. So it has been a very long week, but that kind of resumes everything.
Yeah, man, I bet. But I mean, they get to see Dad, fighting instead of getting screwed over by the man. That's kind of cool.
One of the biggest things that I've been fighting over in this business, and I'm not saying that this is one of those things because nobody has actually pointed and said this happened because of this, but it has been a pattern that I've been sensing for quite a while. And sorry to say this, but I'm from Puerto Rico, I'm Puerto Rican, and as you can notice in my accent. And one of the biggest things that I've been fighting in this business is the racism, racism. And I've been known to be working on productions that they actually ask me, but they stop me, they call me from human resources, and they ask what, just as an example, we Latin people use second names, the father and the mother. Everybody knows Alvarez, but my second name will be my sonnet. And when I get legal contracts, my second name appears. So they, in one occasion, I'm not saying it was Warner Brothers, but it was another company. They called me to ask me, are you Italian? And I said, I'm sorry, what? I'm Italian, my sonnet. No, my sonnet is in Puerto Rico. I was immediately fired for no reason at all. I got my 15-day notice on the email. They say that they couldn't, they went over budget and stuff like that.
Wait. So right after that correction happened, you were fired.
I was fired. And it wasn't Warner Brothers. It was another company. This kind of thing has been happening to me and other companies as well, more times that I could need. So I've been fighting over that thing. I've been in productions that eventually, they pull the plug on me for no apparent reason. And they give me in one of the productions that I work on. I got all the work, and I was fired before even starting. So I was like, but I haven't even give you my work. Why you? No, this is more budget, and thank you very much for everything, and we'll call you back. Then I have friends inside the business, of course, just like everybody does, and they've been on productions that I've been working on, and they clearly tell me, hey, Dave, they don't want you there because you're Puerto Rican. And I will openly say that when Trump was a charge. That thing happened more than ever. And
Wait a minute. Are you suggesting that Donald Trump doesn't like people on the other side of that wall?
oh, you
On the other
think
side
so?
of that border? I don't
You
know.
think so? I don't think so. No, no, it happened. It happened a lot, and it's sad because it's not something that's happening because of my work or because I'm doing something wrong. It's just because they simply, I'm Puerto Rican and that's it. So I don't want to think that this was another reason similar to that. And but it has been a pattern that has been going on too long and too repetitive in the past month.
I'm going to say this.
You really do. I mean, people don't understand it. You really, I mean, maybe the quarantine year of COVID will change things finally, but historically, you in animation, if you want to make animation, you better move to Los Angeles. I don't care what you are, who you are, what you say. And you are one of the only, I mean, aside from your amazing talent and your success when you're kind of following with the Looney Tunes comics, I mean, you really don't see artists that work on Looney Tunes living outside of the system. You're in Puerto Rico. I mean, Eric, we all love Eric, but Eric's from Toronto. Do you think Eric would be able to do Bugs from Canada? And if you're, by the way, to my audience, if you're saying yes to that, you don't know what you're talking about. You got to move to LA. I mean, every Bugs Bunny, every Eric Bauza you've ever heard, Bugs Bunny Bauza you've ever heard, and Bauza anything that you've ever heard, pretty much was recorded in Los Angeles. So there might be some racism there, I would assume, because, it's like, who does this guy think he is? He's going to send us his work from, out of the country. He's like, well, why doesn't he get in here and work with us and da-da-da? I mean, I'm assuming there's something to that, right?
I sometimes I got into productions and I have had to drop deals just because they say, hey, I need you to move to LA. So I explore. I don't have an agent. I don't have anybody that can represent me. I have learned to be a businessman on my own. So I have to explore the contracts and what they're good for me and what's not. So I don't move. For example, they say, well, how long is going to be a production? Oh, we don't know. We're just going to start and let's hope for the best. Say, which is we're going to hope for the best. I'm going to stay in my home because I'm not going to move to LA just to spend all my money in there when I have family here. And that's another thing, when those who know me knows that my kids are my first thing, and I don't want them because I don't have the heart, to take them away from their friends, take them away from their house, from everything that they know, from grandmother, just because I want to pursue a career on my own. It's kind of selfish in that aspect. They need their dad. So whatever I negotiate or whatever I try to do, I go clearly and say I need to work from here. I can go there because I've done it in the past. I do travel and see the people and stuff like that. But I can't stay because they need me.
Sometimes physically not being there. I mean, and this is obviously pre-quarantine talk. So this didn't happen, I assume, on Space Jam, but physically not being there can impact things negatively.
I don't know why in this particular case that happened because we work over in Zoom 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. And we were looking at each other all the time. Every second we were calling, we were doing Zoom. So they know me that I was there, I was working. So in this particular case, I don't know what exactly happened. It's funny because I was talking to our friend Pez. So we're saying, that the coffee guy appears in the credits and I don't. you know, the Uber guy appears and I don't.
By the way, you know all that stuff that you worked on, all that, you know, deleted, non-deleted, everything. Pez really does think that you should just send it all to me, and I'm not trying to get like he's said that to you, I think.
Yeah, he told me that. Maybe I will, because after I told you,
I'll tell you this. I want to say this for the record.
I love the Fox Pop reference in the Game of Thrones art. Also, for the record, I want to just say, I've said it before, but I just want to say again for the record, man, you picked me to tell your story.
Yeah, I did.
I appreciate that.
Oh, you know, you're one of the great guys who's putting the word for us artists. And, you know, I think if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it with Trevor, you know, because, you know, he's the guy. He's the Looney Tunes critic. And I've got, you know, my inbox is full of people who wanted the story. One of them even called me during the weekend. I don't know how the hell they found my number. And it was, why don't you give some declarations of what happened after you were fired? And I wasn't fired. Who the hell is this?
Dude, that's fucked up. I don't even have your number.
Yeah. And it happens. I was like, how do you get my number? I said, it's on your webpage. It is? So I don't know where it is, but it's supposed to be there. So, you know, a lot of people have been asking for, you know, what do I think about this? What the hell happened? Because as the story goes, I see that it gets distorted and people get, you know, their own assumptions, you know, that I went there, I punched somebody in the face, that you know, that I moved over to LA and then I came back and, you know.
You punched somebody because you're Puerto Rican.
Oh, yeah. We're supposed to be fighting all the time.
Obviously, why would you work out every day if it's not to punch executives in the face?
Yeah, just for that. It's our mission.
Because you're Puerto Rican.
This is kind of crazy, you know.
All right, well, I figured it out, man. I'm gonna make new credits for you. I'm gonna find the section that you are supposed to be credited in and squeeze you in there. So
that way you can show that one to your kids and just edit it in and be like, no, that's right there, and you can.
It's right there. See, I was there all the time.
Yeah, and then you can just live a lie for the rest of your life, for the rest of your days.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, man, as far as I'm concerned, you get credit, so I can put the credit in there. It's that easy. It really is that easy, WB.
We now return to the Bugs Bunny and Tweety Show.
As a matter of fact, you know, I did call Warner Brothers just to find. Well, not call. I just sent them an email, several emails, at which they only replied to one. So what I got was a partial truth, because the person who actually sent it to me, you know, she just told me, I think it's internal policy thing. You need to be like, you know, like certain amount of time to be considered for credits. And I was like, oh, okay, let's start by saying that that's unfair. But the other thing is, for example, I could be, for example, just a day or a week, but I design your most important parts of the movie, and they are there. You call me to design, for example, the Coach Daffy, the Casablanca, Bugs Bunny. I have a folder full of all the designs that we did, the Game of Thrones, Foghorn Leghorn, the uniforms. They needed to be fit, and I made the official fitting for the characters there. So my part in the movie was important. So why was I left out? And she just said, I'm copying. She told me the name. She will have an answer for you soon. Soon is that has been a week, and I haven't heard about that. So I don't know what to think about it. But it's I have no people who work in the movie literally a week, and they are there.
I mean, I've always said it. I've said it a long time, and I don't know how much longer I have to keep saying it before people hear it, but because they don't hear it when artists say it. But the fact is, our animation artists artists in general, but in this case, animation artists, they're thought of as second-class fucking citizens. And if it's animation, even if it's an animated movie like cinema, it's still second class to the majors. And I'll give you an example. I can't tell you the name of the movie. Unfortunately, I thought I could, but it's a Melissa McCarthy movie, and I worked on the movie for a total of 2 weeks as a PA. All I did was get people coffee. It amounts to fuck all is what I did. I got paid, but I'm credited in the movie, and all I did was get people coffee for 2 weeks.
Like
really?
For people and shit. Yeah. And I got credit for it.
Now, I'm not saying I shouldn't get credit. In a perfect world, everybody gets credit, but if little old me can get credit, you for all the contributions that you made, you should be able to get credit. All artists that work on a movie should get credit. And the credit thing is in a weird way, it's kind of a time-honored tradition with Looney Tunes because, normally in the old days of the shorts, you were seeing, 3 or 4 animators, and it's a very, there's a cover. Sometimes animators got credited that didn't actually work on the cartoon. It was just that, their names were next in the rotation for that unit. And there were any number of technical reasons for many years as to why certain people could appear uncredited or do uncredited work, especially in the case of Looney Tunes. However, a lot of that was technical. A lot of that was nobody wants to sit and watch tiny text and hours of credits. And that's simply not the case anymore. People want to watch everything. In 1988, Roger Rabbit came out. It was one of the longest credit sequences ever. The Marvel movie credit sequences go on for bloody ever. So in this day and age, it shouldn't happen to anyone. Not you, not to all the other people that it happened to.
Me and a lot of other people that has been neglected from the credits as well, because there have been a few. I don't know why people took me as a sample, but there are a lot of people who didn't appear in the credits, and they have been contacting me through Twitter and through Instagram, and I was, you too? This became like the Me Too movement of the cartoon world. Everybody's like fighting for that right now. So,
are you hopeful that by us talking about this here and by the media covering it and it's going somewhat viral last week, are you hopeful that because of all this it'll stop happening?
I am. I have hope that this will get better, and I take this moment just to say to people who have been writing to me and every social media, on Instagram, Twitter, I just say thank you very much. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for spreading the word, because this is a very important matter in the life and career of artists, and being neglected for credits, it's being neglected from our work. You don't get the proper acknowledgement for what you did. You won't be able to move over to bigger things. So I'm hopeful that everything that's happened, this has been a peaceful manifestation, because thankfully, nothing has gone out of control. It went viral, highly viral.
That's what I wanted to ask. I remember now.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that this is because of you've got a pretty good following, a Looney Tunes following from all your Instagram and your social media, and not to mention what it all started from was the Looney Tunes comics, the comics illustrations that you do. So do you think that this happened because as a Looney Tunes artist, you're pretty popular?
Yeah, I think it has to do with that. I wasn't aware that people actually follow my stuff that much. I just try to do my best out there and keep working and keep feeding my family with what I do. So I don't pay that much attention to if people know me or they don't know me. I just play my cards just to get to keep working, just to keep work happening. And I don't think they would have been the same way if this didn't happen. Maybe it would have been good, but not this good. This kind of the media kind of helped a lot into this, and so I hope this gets fixed, and every company, not only Warner Brothers, but every company in Hollywood starts giving credit to everybody that works there. If the coffee guy is there, I know that we can be there too. Believe me, we can.
There you go, man. I think that's a wrap.
Oh, cool.
I think I've come to the end of my list of questions here for you. However, I do want to show this to you. I wrote it down here when you said.
Well, it shouldn't be common. It shouldn't. This is unfair.
It shouldn't be common. This is unfair. And I wrote it down here on my notes right as you said it. And God damn it, if that ain't gonna be the fucking thumbnail, because. So, anyway, thanks for sitting in with me, giving me the exclusive, and letting us hear your story. And hopefully, it's all for the best. And thank all of you guys, Docs and Duckettes, for watching at home. And I do this kind of thing all true to channel, man. I do all sorts of Looney Tunes related stuff. I'm the Looney Tunes Critic. Be sure to give a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and do all that stuff. And subscribe to me, please, please, please subscribe. Go to my Patreon. I just got demonetized, so I don't have any money now. So if you like what I do, please pay me. And that's going to do it for this one. Again, for my guest in Puerto Rico, my good buddy Dave Alvarez, I'm Trevor Thompson, the self-appointed Looney Tunes critic. And until next time, that's all, folks.
Yeah.